And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Make it clear that the views expressed by our host are not considered the official stance of NBR views. Remember, this is all about having fun and enjoying the ride.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Join Terry with Tracer Rounds every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central to hear interviews with veteran artists, veteran business owners, and businesses that support veterans. Tune in to see if you're on target. Catch us on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and MB Radio, giving veterans a voice.
Hi, welcome back to Tracer Rounds. I'm your host, Terry, and we're on MBR, and we're giving veterans a voice. And tonight, the veteran we're giving a voice to is Smiles, a.k.a. Kiara Weems, said it wrong, Weems. And she has the Smiles Show. And I'm so excited to have her in the studio tonight because I have to say, before, I'm just going to give it all away right now because she is the cheerleader of MBR. So every time I see her smile or I see a post from her, I think of Omi's song Cheerleader because that always plays in my head every single time. So I'm just exactly. So I'm just giving you a heads up. This is who we got in the studio. We have our own personal cheerleader, and I'm so excited to have her. Welcome, Kiara.
Thank you. That was the best intro for me. Oh my goodness, thank you. It is such a pleasure to be here, Terry. Thank you for having me. And I love to be cheerleaders because you know what? Who else is going to root for you? Yeah, you have to root for yourself, but it's so nice to have somebody to root for you because you're like, oh, I can do it. So yeah. Oh, I think I found myself a cheerleader.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was playing it right before we came live.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm super excited to have you because we want to talk about your military service, but we also want to talk about the other things that you do. So if you want to tell us a little bit about your service in the military and then maybe how many years or your job specialty or what you did in civilian life before or after, just give us the scoop.
Just give you the scoop of
yes, please.
Who I was, right?
Or who you are, too.
Who I am. Well, my name is Kiara. I joined the military when I was 19. I tried to go to college for a little bit. That didn't work out. So I went to the military. I wanted to travel. And I wanted to be a police officer. So I was security forces, SFS.
SFS. Yay, I got it.
Yeah. Oh, that's our. Oh. I joined April of 2009. And I actually left out in September of 2010. My first duty station was Turkey. I was at Incirlik Air Base.
Oh, wow.
I had so much fun in Turkey. That has left an imprint in my heart. And that's what makes me want to travel even more so because I learned so much more being in that country, than sitting behind a screen and having people tell me about something. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It gets whole different perspective. When you're just watching TV and you don't travel, you don't know what you're missing. You're only getting information of what somebody wants you to know. But
Right.
go and meet these people and you're just like, y'all are the most beautiful people that I've ever met. So it's phenomenal. So that's another thing. Go out there and travel. Get out there and travel and don't be afraid to meet new people because everybody's different. Everybody's different. It looks like we got some. Oh, you already got the comments. I am horrible with comments. Sorry. That's I was
No,
like,
you're good. You're good.
but so yeah, I went. Turkey is just phenomenal. I got to visit Kiskaleski. You have the castle on the beach, and then you have the castle in the lake. It's another phenomenal story. The reason why they have the castle in the sea is because a witch that came to them as a king and a queen and told them that their daughter was going to pass at like her 18th birthday.
Oh
So
wow.
they built the castle in the sea so nobody can get to her. But she ultimately still passed on her 18th birthday. A
That's crazy.
snake got her. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's so much history. The mosques, the call of prayer, like the food, the culture. It's phenomenal. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. I've never been, but it sounds really nice.
You'd have to go. It's one of those things that if you want to get away from like the Western world, like it's super nice to see something different than
Yeah.
what we're used to, and it's we're all just trying to do the same thing. That's what it is. I love it. I love Turkey as well because they're so laid back. They're completely opposite from here. I told my husband, I was like, I feel like I was supposed to be in one of these other countries because America is so fast paced. What can I do within this allotted time? How much can I do? Right? There, it's kind of like, if I get it done, I get it done. We'll try again tomorrow. And that's how I am. And my husband's like, oh my gosh, Kiara. Like, oh my gosh.
And he's giving you a comment too.
Oh, he said oh, thank you. I'm proud of you too, Dylan. He's my biggest cheerleader. He's my biggest MJ. Whoop, whoop,
I know. Welcome, world of positive conscious thinking. I think I said it right. Yes.
I get tongue tied so much. The
I
world
do
of
too.
conscious positive thinking. That's
Yes.
a tongue twister.
It is. It
I
is.
love it.
And the first time interviewing her, I was like, I know, MJ, I know I'm going to say it wrong. I know I'm going to say it wrong. I'm going to get all twisted up. I'm going to say it wrong. So I had to like sound out each word really on its own to make sure I didn't.
You gotta slow it down sometimes. You gotta slow it down. Well, after I got out of the military, fast forward to 2013, I became a deputy sheriff in Jackson County in Mississippi, and then I did that for a little bit, and then I moved to Colorado, and then back from Colorado, and then I met my husband, and we got married a few years later, and then we
That's
had
awesome.
a baby, and then we just closed on our new home last year in North Dakota.
What
Yeah.
what brought you to North Dakota?
He wanted to work in the oil field, and we had our baby just turned a year old, and I was like, I'm not in the military anymore, Dylan. You're not going to be gone 3-4 months and then home a week, and then no, we're not doing that. So I was like, if you're going to go back in the oil field, you're taking us with you. And so here we are.
There you go.
Here we are. Yeah.
So is there a big oil business there in North Dakota?
Humongous. I didn't think that it
Really?
would be, but it's agriculture and oil field.
Hmm.
A lot of people from around the world. California, there's a lot of Californians here. You got a few people from down south. You got people from Washington, Montana. What's this way? Minnesota? Is it Minneapolis? So somebody at the airport. Side story. Somebody at the airport. I think my daughter and I were going to the Bahamas, and I was saying Minneapolis, right?
Oh, Minneapolis.
And the guy, straight face as he could be, was Minneapolis. And I'm like, excuse me. So I have to stop myself and say Minneapolis. Because if I say it, it'd be Minneapolis.
Well, it sounds cool that way too.
Yeah, Minneapolis. I'm like, how do you? I can't say Minneapolis. It sounds weird. It's Minneapolis.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's a lot of people here for work. So when I first got up here, they're like, you're either here for the Air Force, because Minot Air Force Base is here. So there's either Air Force or oil field. Which one are you?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
MJ said, I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy.
She's good with songs. She's always got a song. We rode in the car for about an hour together, and man, she knew every single song. Like she goes, "I hope you don't mind I'm singing, because this is what I do. So if you do, I'm sorry." And I said, "No, I don't mind. I do the same thing. It's fine with me. I have no issue with that."
No, none whatsoever. We'll all be screeching, but I'm pretty sure y'all have beautiful voices.
Oh no.
I'll be the screecher.
Oh no. No, we're good.
Awesome.
So what are you doing now? Are you a homemaker with baby, or are you doing something on the side? You said you have some side businesses, so I don't think you're entirely like just
It's the plain old homemaker. So
right.
I forgot what this guy called it. He made it sound super fancy, but yes, I'm a homemaker. I have a few side businesses, but it's kind of like I do it just to, I don't know, I guess just to have them. I have the sparkle. It's called the paparazzi business. Um, my jewelry business, is called Sparkle Sunshines. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just forgot. Sparkle and Sunshines. Oh my god. My brain just went bloop. It's something with sparkles and sunshines, guys, because we're bringing sparkles and sunshines.
Sounds good to me. I like it.
Facebook. Yeah. So I do have a jewelry business. I also have a bath bomb business, but that's on hold for now. Because that takes a lot of science. I didn't realize how much science goes into
Chemistry.
chemistry, going into skincare products. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's fun, but it costs a lot of money. So that's
Yeah.
home. I also just am a new travel agent. Super excited about this.
Yay!
Because I love to travel, and I'm like, what better way for me to travel and get incentives while doing it? And
Exactly.
Smiles and Adventures. So you can look me up there.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of little, and I'm in school now, so school started back, so I'm doing that.
So what are you going for in school?
Business management.
Nice. Good for you.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Thank
So you're
you.
busy.
I'm busy.
Yes.
I'm busy.
Yes. She's busy because not only is she doing all that stuff, she's doing stuff behind the scenes for MBR too. She's making the morning memes, which are awesome.
Thank you.
And she's lightening the load for all of us around MBR, especially our CEO, our director, Joel. He's got a big heavy weight on his shoulders, and so Kiara is one of the ones that is helping to lighten that load a little, and we really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. And you, Miss CEO, you're CEO too. I want to say congratulations on you. I don't know if you said it on your podcast, but people need to know that you are Mrs. CEO and you running stuff back there.
Oh, no. I'm just like they point and say point and click and whatever, and that's what I do. Yeah. They just tell me what to do and I do it because I'm happy to do it. Yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm super proud
Thank
of
you.
because you're making things smoothly as well. So
Well, I think we're all a well-oiled machine. We're all making the magic happen. So it's a little like Wizard of Oz. You're seeing behind the curtain and you're seeing the wizard move the buttons around and you're like, wow, this is fantastic. Like who knew? right?
Exactly. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Right? There's a lot to it. Like it's not an easy go. Like there's a big, huge learning curve that's got to happen. So yeah, so we're all getting trial by fire, and I love it. I wouldn't
Yes,
have
we
it
are.
any other way. Wouldn't have it any
Yes,
other way. Well, we got to take a quick break, and so we're gonna listening to a song by a friend of mine, Big Joe Muse. He's also an Army veteran, was a drill sergeant, and he's like 6'7", and so when he wears a drill hat, people take notice. So listen to his song "Spinning." He's with Interstate Gypsies.
Been a little crazy, and I haven't had much time. Crazy, it gets me the more you're on my mind. Thought of you and the things you do got me spinning. Never thought I'd find someone who sees things the way I do. Never thought I'd find this love till I ran into you. Filled the hole in my soul and got me spinning. Got me spinning around and round. My feet are nowhere near the ground, and I'm spinning. Yeah. I'm spinning. Time passes slowly when we're 1,000 miles apart, and the hours turn to days, getting aching in my heart. In my mind, I see a memory, and I'm spinning. I'll be home tomorrow. We got a lot of catching up to do. I wanna see your pretty face and throw my arms around you. Hold you tight all through the night and do some spinning. Got me spinning around and round. My feet are nowhere near the ground, and I'm spinning. I'm spinning. I'm spinning. I'm spinning. Yeah. I'm spinning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm spinning. Yeah. Don't you know that I'm spinning?
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Hi, back to Tracer Rounds, and I am your host, Terry, and I have Kiara with the Smiles podcast on the show with me tonight, and we're giving her her voice tonight. And so we've kind of been talking about her side projects. So she said she was a domestic engineer / homemaker / not really doing much, but she's really doing a whole lot. Really, she's a mom, she's a wife, she's a podcaster, she's a student, she's a jewelry business owner or associate. You're also like working on another sales for bath bombs and things like that. And you are a travel agent now, a full-fledged. And
Yeah.
so tell me, how did you decide to get that started?
I have always loved traveling ever since I was a kid. Like that has been my dream, just to travel every inch of this world.
Right.
And for a while, it's always been in the back of my mind, but I've thought that you had to do a startup. Like, you have to pay so much money to do this and whatever. And I was listening to Caleb, and the lady on there was like, the DJ. She was like, if I wasn't a DJ, she goes, my dream job would be a travel agent. And I was like, huh, okay. Like she's like, I love to travel. I love to like everything that I've said. I want to indulge in culture. I want to indulge in food. That's my toddler.
I have a second guest on nobody knew about.
Yeah. Oh, there's a third one too. Her name
A
is
third one?
Pooh. Yeah, she's a little multi poo. Sadie Lou, go.
Oh,
She's probably trying to attack her and getting her snack. So
oh,
that's what's going on.
that's awesome.
Um, and so I heard it, and I was like, okay, God, I hear you. And then I think I heard it at least 2 or 3 more times, and I'm like, you know what? Especially recently, my husband and I are we. That's what I strive for, is for us to have family vacations. And
Yeah.
I was just like, why am I not doing this? Like, I'm literally spending the money. We're spending the money to go on these vacations. Why not go ahead and get some kind of incentive out of it?
Mhm.
So there we go. I actually, oh, I don't want to say it, but I guess he kind of already knows. I booked a surprise for
Uh-oh.
my husband and I. I can't say what it actually is.
Okay, I'll keep your secret.
But it's gonna be because I wanted to go on that veteran cruise, the one that
Oh.
round table.
Mhm.
I wanted to do that cruise, but we had to, I think, pay like that. I think it was like the beginning of September or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
you had to
can't happen. I have to save it for next year. And I was like, okay, let me look up and see what I can do. And so that's what it is. I love traveling, and she wants to go to China one day, so it's kind of like, hey, let's do it.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Well, my first, college, degree, if you will, was an associate's degree in travel and airline studies. Be
Wow.
I wanted to be a travel merchandiser. That's what I wanted to do, because I wanted to go on fam trips too, because I like to travel as well.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so I had always kinda thought about that when after I got out of school, I said, "Okay, then I'm gonna look for a job in the field." And they're like, "Well, do you have experience?" And I said, "No." And they go, "Well, sorry, can't help you."
Just like that.
Yeah, so, like, I tried with a couple of agencies because I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I tried with a couple agencies, and they're like, Do you have experience? Do you have a following? Do you have clients?" I was like, "No." They're like, "Sorry, if you don't have a following, you don't have clients, and you don't have experience, we can't help you."
Are
I
you?
said,
That's
"Okay." So
crazy.
then I went in the Army instead.
Oh no! I mean, that's a blessing, but like, it's just
So then with those credits, since I had to do something with that degree, with those credits, then I got E3 going in. So when I went, because I joined the Army Reserve. So
oh,
when I joined, I got E3 because I had those college hours for travel merchandising, which I couldn't get a job for because they said that they couldn't help me because I didn't have a following.
they want you to have, which is funny. They're like, "Oh, we want you to apply. Well, do you have 10 years experience?" And you're like, "Dude, I'm 18." They want you to do all that at like a baby's. It's so weird. Jobs are so weird. They're so weird. So, what are you gonna do? I know you, Anais. Anais, my baby. She's
A couple of podcasters on here commenting. And so we've got the Who's Your Mind on here. We've got the World of Conscious Positive Thinking, and Joel's here. And
oh,
who else is here?
where's the
We appreciate
job?
you.
Who's here? Oh, go Dallas!
I would say go Miami, but with Tua being out, I don't know what's going to happen now. I was a little disappointed
Oh,
because
I
Hoosier
actually
predicted that Miami was going to win on Thursday, and they didn't win. But Tua got another concussion, so I mean, like
another
that's
one. Oh, they're
yeah. So he's
probably gonna.
talking retirement now.
Yeah, they're probably
Yeah,
gonna tell him. Yeah, you got it. Oh, that makes my. I like him.
I know. See, I was drilling in Miami, right? And so the Dolphins always give tickets to Southcon where I was drilling. So I bought me a Tua jersey and I got the whole I got the whole thing, right? And so when I go to work, I rock a Tua jersey and they're like, "You're supposed to be in Cowboys, you're in Texas." And I'm like, "I know, but Tua's so cool. I gotta rock the
Tua
Tua
is
jersey,
cool.
right?" So
Yeah.
I'm Dolphins, everybody else is wearing the star.
You know what? I don't even. Please, if you're gonna hear us loud noises, please forgive me. My toddler decided she wanted to get my husband's. I bought him for Christmas. You know the what do you call it? When you're looking for gold and stuff.
Oh, metal detector.
Yes. You hear her little kid.
She's like, "This is my gift to me, and now you get to hear how much enjoyment I'm getting from it."
Y'all can say she is a happy baby. She's because I hear the dogs running, so she's chasing the dogs with
Oh,
him.
no.
Oh,
Oh, goodness.
and
So go ahead.
no. I'm trying to get my daughter to
Oh.
go. um, Anais, could you do me a favor and go in the living room and play with that? If you're gonna play with it, please. Thank you, Mama. You're so awesome.
So I was gonna ask you, because, we talked about you being a cheerleader, and we talked about your smiles and your smile show. We're gonna want more about that when we come back, because 'cause we're gonna go for a break in about 4 minutes. But I wanted to ask you, how do you have so much energy, so much positive energy to, like, broadcast over our group chat and over everyone's, like, shows? Because I have to tell you, when I see your name come up, I'm like, "Oh, man," I immediately smile. I immediately smile. So, I'm wondering how you have all that energy to really spread that positivity, and what led you to come to that place where you said, "This is my mission, this is my goal, this is what I do. I'm Kiara with the Smile Show, and I'm gonna spread the joy."
Oh, don't make me. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. We don't got enough time. We don't got enough time. The positivity and all that positive energy comes from Jesus. I I can't take credit for it because if I would still be bitter and just bleh, right? So Jesus, I have to give him the credit. God, my God, like the universe just I asked I that was something that I've prayed about. I don't want to be bitter. I've said that ever since I was a kid because I've seen bitter people most of my life and I'm like I don't want to be that. And then God started putting me in situations where I was being bitter and I'm like, "Whoa, I just said I didn't want to be bitter." Like, so it was like these are the tests like okay, I have to put you in these positions so you can come out of it and you have to spread that joy like that is and so for the while now I just knew that I was here to spread kindness and joy and love. That's the only thing that kept coming to me, like like this is what you're supposed to do. And it's just everything just falls in line. um it's a beautiful thing. Absolutely love seeing people smile. That just because I know I know um what it's like to not have that cheerleader, and I've seen what it does to people. It's like a transformation. I think you've said it earlier. It sparks a plug into them and it's so nice to see that. And that's my drive. That's why I get up at 3 o'clock. Sometimes I don't go to sleep.
Crazy.
I am there at 5 a.m.
Yes,
and I'm
you
like,
are.
I gotta do this because I have to put that smile on at least one person's face. And that's actually why I became a deputy sheriff. Because I was like, if I can just change one person's life, I've done my job. And so it's literally about you guys. It's not about me. And my source is Jesus and my God and the universe. Like I'm tapping into that. So I have to do this. Because like I just see what it does and I'm just doing God's work.
Well, you said that if I put on the uniform and I do my job, like you're talking about your deputy sheriff, you said, and if I just changed one person's life, well, I'm positive that you did. I'm positive that you had that impact, and that somebody is going to remember Smiles, even if you weren't the Smiles then. I'm sure that someone's going to say, "Hey, remember that sweet deputy sheriff that stopped me?"
You know what's funny? They've called me Smiley since I was a kid because that's all I do is smile. Like, just
So
smile.
you come by it naturally, is what you're saying.
Smile.
You're
I'm
saying
a
that you were
natural
meant to smile.
I was meant to smile. Yes.
Right?
There's
I
so
love
many comments. I'm sorry. I just had this moment, and we're gonna have to tell those comments when we come back.
We are, so we're going to go to a quick break, and we're going to hear Blue Mountain Tribe, Love and Understanding. And I had them on my show, I think 2 weeks ago, and they were so awesome and they're so accommodating. And I just hope they succeed because they rock. They rock. So we're going to play Love and Understanding.
It ain't fair. It ain't fair. It ain't fair. It ain't fair. People walking down the street, the kind of people that you hate to meet. If we had loving, we wouldn't have war. We wouldn't have killings in our street anymore. We need love and understanding. 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 It ain't fair. It ain't fair. It ain't fair. It ain't fair. I don't know what I'm gonna do. All these people are so damn cruel. If we had loving, we wouldn't have war. We wouldn't have killings in our street anymore. We need love and understanding. 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 Where do we go? What do we do? Where do we go? Now I'm telling
opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Welcome back to Tracer Rounds, and I am your host, Terry, and I do have Smiles with me, Kiara. And I want to know a little bit more about your show. Tell me when it is. Tell me what's going on the show, what you typically talk about. Just kind of give us a little summary of what goes on. And I've been on it a couple of times, and I have to tell you something real quick for you tell your story. I got to tell a story on you. So I have been on your show twice, and I tell you what, after being on your show in the morning and then going to work, I've had a beautiful day after I've been on your show because your words and your enlightenment and your topics and just your energy makes for a great day. So I have to tell you that first of all, and now you can tell your side of it.
Thank you. And I
Uh-huh.
was actually reading the comment, and I cried literally because it's nice to hear that people actually get that vibe from me. That's what I want, you know. Um, I remember when let me just start with when I met Hoosier the first time. She was so I've never, and it's so funny because we talked about that today. He is very put together, I should say. And I remember I was trying to do all my create my accounts. I don't remember how many months ago. I think I started when I started doing the podcast in June. It was
I
like
think,
the middle of
yeah,
June or so,
I
like
think
late
so.
of June, and I was trying to get all my pages together. And here he comes with was it link that link, and I was like, "How did you do that?" Like, he was just so put together, and so I appreciate him because he's been helping me, especially lately. I watched his show live the other day, and I was like, "I want that. How did you
Mhm.
do that?" So I really appreciate your kind words, Hoosier. I love your show. Even though I'm a Dallas fan, um,
Miami.
I'm disappointed. I'm kind of disappointed. I don't know what to do. I will always be a Dallas fan. And my second husband, and my husband's watching this, so he knows. Um, Joe Burrow is literally. I remember when they played the finals in New Orleans, and we came from Mississippi, and I was like, Dylan, can we please go? This is going to be my only time that I get this close to Joe Burrow. And he just looked at me and rolled his eyes. He was like, I can't believe you. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay because he like flew over us, so I can be close to him. My husband was just like, whatever, Kiara. So, um, my show is called The Smile Show. And I got that name because of Joel. When I first did my interview, which I found, I don't know how you found about the podcast, the VA
Yes.
sent out that that newsletter. And I was like, you know, I talk so much. My mom had always said, Kiara, you're gonna have a talk show host. And I'm like, let's give it a try. And I remember I did the Sadie Lou, you are okay. She's trying to jump in my lap. Um, Joe Burr. um, I did my interview and he was like, Smiles. He'd been calling me that since forever. And so I was like, okay, we're going to come up with the Smile Show. And from there, I just been putting little pieces together. So the acronym for Smiles is smiling makes individuals love everyone sincerely. And I wholeheartedly believe that because I've been in the store where people are just like straight, just, I gotta, I'm here on a mission and that's it. And when you actually make eye contact and you smile and you say something positive, it doesn't click right away. But I've had so many people stop and actually understand what I just said. And it just puts that beautiful smile on their face, like it completely. And so now it's, instead of having that face like, oh, I'm on this, now they're just like, wow, that was it just changed that whole attitude, their whole shopping experience. And so I really believe that spreading kindness and it's spreading smiles is so so important, so important. And so my show is 5 a.m. Central Time on Wednesdays, which Joel came up with that as well. It's not
Oh,
my if I would have chosen, it would have been somewhere in the evening. But I know that was God. That was God. And that's why I say I have to show up because like you said, you get up and you I don't know if you watch the show on replay. I know you've been on my show a few times right before work, and I appreciate you for that. But it especially on a Wednesday, the middle of the week, you need that pick me up. So I feel like that was my purpose and I gotta show up and show out. I gotta show that kindness.
and you do, and you really do.
Thank you.
So what you were saying really brings home something else I was going to talk about, and I didn't tell you I was going to talk about this. So your segue just makes perfect sense, and I'm glad. But you talked about going to the store, so it could be Walmart, could be the drive up window somewhere, or it could
Mhm.
be like church, or it could be work, or it could be anything. But
Right.
if you are just going and so the class I had today, I had a super great teacher. And if you're in Texas and you're with Texas Municipal League, get Craig Barnes, because I'm telling you what, he gave like a top rate training today on civility. And so what you're talking about really lends itself to what I was learning about today, which is civility, which means you treat others with kindness and respect. And if you give them that kindness and respect, then a lot of times you get it back, and sometimes you don't, and that's okay. But just showing that a little bit of like humanity in a daily conversation is like everything. I know I've gone into a store and said something to someone because they were wearing a really cool outfit, and I was like, "Oh, that's a beautiful outfit. It looks great on you. Like, you make that outfit look great." And they just have this just like this puzzled look at first, and they're like, "Wow,
Exactly.
no one's ever said I look nice before." Like, so I
Yes.
mean, like, just giving
Yes.
a little bit of positivity goes a whole long way. And, like, just, it's the analogy of the glass half empty, half full. You can spin that glass any which way you want to. What's in it is still the same, but how you perceive it or what your perspective is of it is totally what has you, having a good day or a bad day, or having
Absolutely.
optimism or having pessimism.
Exactly.
Because, if it's half full and not half empty, then you've still got something in the tank. You still got something, right? You're not half
Exactly.
empty, you're half full.
I'm half full.
So right? So
I can still go.
right, so you've got something to give to somebody else, a
Yeah.
little positivity goes a long way, and that's what I'm saying. Your show is really one of those that gives that positivity and that light. And also when like you just communicating with people, you can hear in the communication the smile behind that, the emotion, the support behind that, because people's words matter. What they say matters.
You're gonna have me crying. Don't do it.
No, I don't want you to
I'm
cry.
so passionate about this. So when I hear people actually like what is that mirror what I'm trying to do, I'm like, "Oh, I'm actually doing this," and I'm not smiling all the time. Let's get this like it's something you got to work for.
Right.
And it's it just letting me know that I have to continue this. So thank you.
Well, I mean, I think like you said, it's one of those things that is put on your heart to do, and I
Mhm.
think you do it well. And yeah, I understand like you're not always on because some days you're just not feeling it, but you get up and you do it anyway, even when you're not feeling it. Like some days you're like, do I really want to get up at 5 a.m.? I don't know if I really do. Like, maybe okay, let's do this. But pushing through some of those times when you don't feel like doing something is just the time you need to be doing it because someone needs to hear that.
Yes,
Like, it's those times when you think, no one's listening anyway. What does it matter? Well,
right.
those are the times when that one person that really needs to hear that message is there.
It's
So
just
you've made all the difference in the world just by showing up.
you know what you just said. So my name is Kiara, and it means to make a difference or a change. And I have always that's something that I've always tried to do. I wanted to make a difference and a change in this world. Didn't realize what I was saying when I said it.
Well, your mama named you right, I think. I think she had, like, the premonition or the vision or the ordainment to say, this child is going to make a difference.
Thank you. And you know what? It doesn't. I feel like that I always paid attention. I was that person that pays too close attention to something that other people miss. I'm like, oh, so I had this. I remember this one guy. I was like, how did you get that scar? It was on his neck, and he was like, my girlfriend doesn't even know about this scar. Like they've been together for like ever, and he was like, I would never date you because you are so in tune. And I was just like, thanks, because
I think.
because I just look at somebody and I don't know, I just read. I don't know. I've always just loved looking at somebody and just knowing a person. I don't know what that means or what that is. I love getting to know you inside and out. I don't care who you are because you're a person and I want to know you and I want to support you and love you all that I can. Same with my husband. I always loved asking questions. I remember my friends, when I was stationed in Turkey, we were inside the chow hall and I was like, did y'all see the what do you call the person that's actually over the whole base? So
the commander?
Yeah, I said,
The
did y'all
base
see the
commander?
commander? Yeah, I said, did y'all see the base commander? And my friends looked at me, they're like, Kiara, you pay too much attention to everything. I was like, well, we have to know what's around. Like, that's our job. We are police officers. Like, come on.
Right.
So it just helps me actually love people that much more because a lot of people want to be seen, they want to feel seen, they want to be heard. And so
they do.
I just feel like God.
We're going to have to take a quick break and then we're going to come back. We're going to finish this up because this is a topic that I'm passionate about too, is civility and about making a difference and making people feel valued and important. So we're going to listen to Mr. Red, White, and Blue, Coffee Anderson. He's a Texas boy. Hang on.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey, from the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop. And his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. March in line, march in line. Hey. Hey.
Welcome back to Tracer Rounds. I'm Terry, your host, and I have Kiara with me, aka Smiles. And so we have just like probably 8 minutes left to talk, but I wanted to kind of ask you if there's anything that we didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about before we go, because I want to make sure I give you that opportunity.
I actually had to go find out what my name was. It's Sparkling Sunshines. It's like it was beating me up. I hadn't been on that page in a while. So my business name for my jewelry is called Sparkling Sunshines.
I love it.
That's
perfect.
Yes, thank you. And I think I will spend this time celebrating my husband. He has been so supportive with me. I miss him because he goes and sometimes he's away days and weeks at a time. Sometimes he'll if I'm having a really bad day, he will drive that 2 hours, sleep maybe an hour or two just to drive 2 hours back. So he's so sometimes I feel like I underappreciate him because I'm always fussing at him a lot of times. Because sometimes he doesn't do what I want him to do, and then I have to take a step back and be like, look what he is doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just want to take that step back. He's trying to watch now. He's probably watching. He just got off work, and so I'm just like, thank you, Dylan. He actually messaged me. He was like, Kiara, I actually cut it off right when you said you had a surprise vacation for us, and I was just like, oh, aren't you the cutest?
That's awesome.
So I want to say I love him and I adore him, and I just thank him for being the soul that he is. And I don't want to change him. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing. I appreciate him. So I just want to say thank you for being my best friend and for loving me, Dylan. And enjoying this life and trying to grow together and raise this toddler of ours.
Right.
It's like what is that? Is it Gremlins? Don't feed him after midnight. It's like a month before she turned 3. It's just like this. Like, where did that sweet little baby go?
Right. Yes, they can be quite a handful at times. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, so it wasn't terrible twos. It's definitely the try me threes.
Right. I love that. Try me threes. I haven't heard of that, but I know it's a thing. It's a thing. Well, I really wanted to tell you that I appreciate you sharing that story about, you're supporting your husband, but then at the same time you're like, man, he makes me mad because he didn't do what I wanted him to do, or maybe not mad, but frustrated, whatever the term is. But you turn right around and you put it into perspective. What is he doing for me? What can I be thankful for? Because you spun that around to say, okay, there are positives here. What am I missing? What am I not seeing?
Right.
And so that's the whole thing about civility and positivity, and about, as MJ is so popular and so fond of saying, flipping the script.
Flipping the script.
Yeah, because she is the master when it comes to, learning how, and the methodology and the plan set to flip it. And
So
so
for me to be y'all's cheerleader, I have to be not only myself's cheerleader, I have to be my daughter's cheerleader, but I have to be my husband's cheerleader most of all. It has to start within the home for it to actually just brighten everywhere else.
I think you're right on target. I do. And that's part of the whole tracer rounds concept, is seeing where your tracer goes and plotting the course towards it, or adjusting it if it's not on the right path. So tracer rounds really has to do with seeing where you're firing at and making sure you're on target. And if you're not, then you need to adjust your azimuth right or left, or your windage, to get on target.
Oh my well, I'm speechless. That is the most coolest thing, because that's what we learn firing weapons. So now I'm like, oh, it makes sense. I love it.
And my favorite color is purple, and they have purple tracer rounds actually.
Do they really?
And I'm like, I need to get me a rifle so I can shoot some purple tracers.
Purple tracer.
Because that's the color of jointness. And this whole MBR environment is joint, right? So because we have Army, we have Air, we have Navy, we have Marines. I don't know if we have any Coasties.
Sometimes I wonder I should have went Coast Guard. I'm like, man,
Me
I could have been kicking
too. I
down.
can do inspection.
Yeah, I was like, I could have been kicking down doors, no questions asked, on the water.
Right? That's what I'm thinking. I could be jumping out of a helicopter onto the deck of a boat. Like, what's up? Why didn't I think of that?
Yes. And look, this is my little Sadie Lou. She just wants she had to get shaved, but she's okay. She wants yeah. And then there's
a little love. Hi, pup.
Yeah. And then there's a boxer that wants to jump on my lap. Oh, okay. And then
Hi. How are you?
Yeah. Sadie's like, wait a minute.
It's just like, wait.
Yeah. It's a MJ. Wait. You can't do that. MJ says back to singing. Okay, well, I guess you have to sing. I shot the sheriff. Come on, Terry.
But I did not kill the deputy.
Am I singing that wrong? See?
I did not shoot the deputy. That's what it was.
See, I don't know. I'm always.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there you go. I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, we've got just like 3 minutes left, but I wanted to thank everyone for showing up today to Tracer Rounds to hear about Smiles, the Smiles podcast, the Smiles show, which is the podcast, and a little bit of Kiara's journey on her way to becoming a podcaster, and on her way to becoming a travel agent, and on her way to becoming a student, and on her way to becoming a business owner. So like, she said, I don't have any businesses. Why am I on here? And I'm like, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Can you stop? We only got a few more minutes.
And she helps us too. So she's got a lot going on. She's like, Mom, we're done here.
That's exactly what she's saying. I guess I don't need my light. There we go. She's gonna play with the lights. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate you. I love you. I absolutely adore you. Like I love when you're on my shows, and I have to come. Yeah! You did it! Oh, you want to try it too? Okay. I appreciate you for having me on your show.
Thanks for coming on. That looks great.
That was amazing.
All right. Well, we're going to close out the show. We're going to go to closer, but thank you all for being here, and join us next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central, and catch Kiara tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Central. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.
Just wait.